I have to say that Ricky Henderson is the greatest player I have seen in person. I really didn't see Barry Bonds, but Ricky Henderson, by God, has got. I mean, it's an obvious statement, of course, but you could see when he came up that this guy is just special. Anyway, I've talked about Seattle, and my brother and the gal he was seeing and I were in Seattle for a long weekend at the Kingdom watching the A's. And it seems to me the Saturday or the Sunday game was Mother's Cookies, and I just made a clip about Mother's Cookies, but it was let me grab my cup here. It was Mother's Cookies baseball card day, and you got some baseball cards of the Seattle players. Well, and you got to go down on the field, and the players, and this is a long time ago, it's not like it is now, the players would wander out. This is like 80, 83, 80, maybe 85. It was in the time between the she-devil divorcing me and me going to work at the Mercury. So I was either, I think I was still working at the Daily Review. Anyway, we go down onto the actual field at the Kingdom. Now, I'm wearing a Kansas City A's hat and a Golden State Warriors t-shirt. There ain't no doubt where I'm from. So we pose with Ray Burris, who was the pitcher, and Gary Hancock was a guy that we got from the Reds. We had just got him. It was his first day there. He flew from wherever Boston was straight to Seattle, and he walks out onto the field. There's a rope and stuff. And now we read the paper every day, so we read the transactions, and we saw that, hey, we got Gary Hancock. Well, we were all playing a shitload of Storytime baseball because I had no social life. I'm a social misfit. So I played a lot of the Red Sox when we played the American League teams. And so I knew these guys, and I knew who Gary Hancock was. I mean, he wasn't an all-star, but he wasn't a bad pickup for us. And so we walked over to Gary, and that's Garry, and we introduced ourselves, and I say, you're not going to believe this, but I know who you are. I mean, I don't know you personally, but I play Storytime baseball, and you're from the Red Sox, and you're a good player, and I'm glad we have you. And you could see his face light up that, he got recognized by his, somebody on his new team, and he just wasn't standing out there like a lump having to explain who he was. And, I don't really want the guy's autograph. His time was more important to me. A guy's time, 5 minutes of your time. It was just an awesome experience. We talked to him. He was right up front with us. It wasn't like we had him on film, saying shit. It was just a good experience. Anyway, Ricky Henderson comes out. And now, I don't know why, but the guys I sat with in center field, every time Ricky Henderson sat down on the field when there was a pitching change, and I have to admit now, and it's been pointed out to me, that we were all probably assholes about this, and it probably wasn't as big of a deal as we made it out to be. Even my Hanai brother, Mark, told me this later in life. But nevertheless, I'm unmedicated, and I'm an asshole, and there's a whole bunch of us out there, so we would just scream at him to get up off his ass. I mean, nobody else sat down. Anyway, I made up a song called Oscar Mayer Ricky, and it was sung to the Oscar Mayer hot dog theme song. And I would sing this at the top of my lungs, and I used to be able to do it very, very loudly. There were times where, and I'm not making this up, people would be able to, who were listening to the game on the radio, not every time, but often enough, be able to pick my voice out from center field and say, dude, I heard you on the radio the other day. So anyway, you know damn well that Ricky Henderson heard everything I all of us screamed at him. So I walk over to Ricky, and it was like he hears me talk, and you could see his mind work, and then he realizes who I am, and he just gives me the stink eye and basically says, you know, he doesn't say fuck you, but he says, you know, in not so many words, fuck you, I'm not going to sign nothing for you. And I said, Ricky, you see the Kansas City A's hat and the Warriors shirt? You know I'm from Oakland. And he just gave me the biggest stink eye. It was one of the proudest moments of my life. But in time, well, maybe I shouldn't have been such an asshole, but, you know, I've got my faults. Anyway, I'm going to tell you that Ricky Henderson is about the greatest goddamn player I've ever seen play. And I watched a lot more American League ball than National League ball because it wasn't like you could watch every game on TV, and we just rarely drove over to Candlestick. So, you know, when you could take the BART to Oakland, it's right there. So I got to tell you that Ricky Henderson is just, you knew it when he came up. You knew it. You just knew that this guy was special. He's not the brightest bulb in the ceiling. He didn't have fire insurance on his house in the Oakland Hills, and in the '89 fire, he lost his house and didn't have fire insurance, as I remember the story. But my God, one of the greatest players of any era ever. He could do anything he wanted. The only thing he didn't have a strong arm, and that's why he played left field. Though he came up, it seems to me, playing center until Dwayne Murphy came up, who we all loved and rooted for incessantly. Was a superior defensive outfielder, so they moved Ricky to left. But my God, the guy, you just knew it. Now I'm going to tell you, the other guy that we just knew was going to be a surefire Hall of Famer was Jose Canseco. Now I know you're laughing at me thinking, oh dude, the guy's a fuck up. Well, sadly, he turned out to be not the brightest bulb in the ceiling. Like the Delman Young clip that you may see, $1 million worth of talent and a 10-cent head. But when he came up in the September, when the rosters expanded, you could see that this guy was raw. But if he managed himself right and things broke his way, he was going to the Hall of Fame. And everybody I sat with at the time, a big group of us, sat in center field, thought the same damn thing. This guy has just got $1 million worth of fucking talent, and he was going places. Turns out he's not a Hall of Famer, and I don't quite know what happened. He was on the A's broadcast year before last, or 2 or 3 years ago, when I bought the MLB TV package, and I was in Coos Bay. I'm 500 plus miles from the Coliseum, and I'm blacked out. So I'm certainly not buying MLB TV ever again. But anyway, Ricky Henderson was just one of the greatest goddamn players ever. But I did have a Ricky Henderson song that, my God, we had a Manning. I can't think of the guy's name now. The guy, Rick Manning, that stole Dennis Eckersley's wife. And every time Manning, who was in the Eastern Division, came to Oakland, it was usually twice every year, I had a Rick Manning song too. So, and that was sung to the Ghostbusters theme. So, you know, it's a miracle I haven't been stabbed in my life about five dozen times. So I've rambled on long enough, almost 9 minutes. Thank you for watching Storytime with Joe, and enjoy your day.